Okay, I've got a 500 gigabyte Seagate drive that's all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, turned raw. So I've got power running to the drive at the moment. If I feel the drive, I can feel it spinning. It's not making any strange noises. It seems all okay. I've got it plugged into just one of these simple USB connectors. It's a SATA drive, and using a USB connector, you can just plug it straight into a USB port on your computer. But you could have it connected directly to your computer. So once I plug it in, there's still no strange noises. It's still spinning okay, everything seems well. It's just Windows sees it as a raw disk. So we'll now run Recover My Files and see the data that we can get back. Okay, let's have a look what happens when we plug this drive into the computer. As soon as we plug it in, we get the message from Windows saying you must format the drive before you can use it. Don't format the drive, always click cancel. Formatting a problem drive can make data recovery more difficult. If we look in Windows Explorer, you can see that it's got a drive F, but when we click on it, Windows says the disk structure is corrupted and unreadable. If we jump into Windows Disk Management, it's always a good idea to have a look what Windows thinks about the drive. So we click on Disk Management, and we can see here I've got my Windows drive as disk 0, and the problem disk is actually disk 1. And you can see the F drive is listed as raw. Okay, so now we run Recover My Files, and because we're recovering an entire drive, we select the Recover Drive option and click Next. We can see the drives listed. We've got our Windows drive, which is hard disk 0, and then our problem disk, which is hard disk 1. If we go back to the Windows Disk Management, we'll just double check that we're searching disk 1, which is the raw drive. So once you've selected the drive, click Next. And in this particular case, I know that I'm looking for JPEGs, and there's a large number of JPEGs on the drive. So to speed the search up, because I know there's JPEGs on the drive, I've just selected the JPEG out of the file list, and now I've started the search. The first part of the search, you'll see above the progress bar, is searching locations for lost petitions. So it's now looking for the entire file and folder structure to see if it can be quickly recovered. We've just jumped ahead, we're now 6 minutes into the search, and the progress bar runs across twice looking for lost petitions. It's often the case, however, on a raw disk that the petitions have been really messed up. So it's often the case that an entire petition won't be found. If we look at this search, when it gets to the end of this section, the looking for lost petitions, if one was found, we would now see it under the folder tab in the results screen. We haven't found the lost petition, and the search has just gone directly into what's called scanning blocks. So now it's scanning across the drive looking for JPEGs, and it's searching by the header and the footer of the JPEG. But what it's doing is it's also now trying to see if it can rebuild that missing petition. So it's looking for individual file system records. And what we want to see in this search is that file system records number climbs steadily up, because each one of those file system records is a file with its full file and folder name. Whilst the search is in progress, so that we know that it's working, we can click on the lost file results and preview them. So click on the folder, and in the right hand top window, the list of lost files will be displayed. It's often useful to sort them by size, so you can put the large ones at the top. Then you should be able to click on them and see the preview of the photos in the preview window. This gives you confidence that you know that the data is being recovered from the disk. If we look up now at the file system records number, we can see it's about 1,400. Now that hasn't found enough files yet. I know that there's a large number of graphic files on this drive, so we need to let the search continue on, looking for those file system records. Okay, we'll just jump ahead here now. You can see in the bottom right hand corner we're now into the 26th minute of the search. If we look at our file system records number now, you can see it's jumped up dramatically to 170,000. That seems about the right number of files that were on this disk. So now that it's found the file system records, I can stop this search, rebuild the results, and I should get the file and folder structure for the drive back. So now I click on the stop button to stop the search. Recover My Files now goes into the analysis of the file system records that have been found. And what it will do is it will rebuild the file and folder structure and display it under folder view of the search results screen. Now I know that this drive had an NTFS petition on it. I can now see a virtual NTFS petition in folder view of the search results screen, so I can go straight to that petition, expand it by clicking on the plus sign, and go through and search for my valuable files that I've lost. You can also switch over to the other tabs, such as the File Type view, which is a fast way of identifying the files. For example, if I click on JPEGs, then sort by size, I can quickly find the large JPEG files that have been found. If I tick them here, and ticking them means that they're the ones that I want to save, I can then go back to Folder View and follow the ticks to work out which folder these files are located in. So now we switch to folder view, and you can see the files that have been ticked are now shown. If I follow the path through the file and folder structure, I can locate them by looking for the green squares. That was just a fast way of finding where my valuable pictures are that I want to recover. Now with the file and folder structure, again you can click on the individual file names and you should be able to preview them in the search results screen. If you're not able to preview them, it's useful to right click where the preview window is and then view the files as hex, so you can actually look at the raw data inside the file and see if it looks like it's a valid picture. Okay, so now that we've found the files that we're looking for, we can select the ones that we want to save by placing a tick in the box next to them. You can see in the bottom line of the screen there that I've currently selected 708 items, which is 1.09 gigabyte in size. Now I want to save these files to another drive. Obviously I need to purchase a product activation key to do this. I've already got a key, so I'll enter a license key into the product activation window here now. To reach this window, go up to the top menu and click Help, then Activate Product. Enter the key, then click Next, or if you're not connected to the internet with this computer, you'll have to use the offline activation method. Now that the program is activated, click on the Save Files button to save the selected files. Then browse to the location where you want to save the files, remembering that you must save them to another disk. Obviously you can't write to this same disk because it's raw, but even if it wasn't raw, you must save the files to another disk, because you don't want to try and save files back to the problem drive, or you'd actually start overwriting the data you were trying to recover. So now the files are saved out to the other drive. So now let's minimize Recover My File, and then go out and see the saved folder and check the files to make sure they've saved properly. So we open the folder and we can browse through the file and folder structure of the files that we selected and saved to the drive. We've now been able to recover our raw hard drive.